Yo, hello everyone, and welcome back to Dividend Investor. Back today with another portfolio update in my weekly series that I'm doing now. I'm using the freetrade app. It's been a bit of a busy week this week, guys, in the stock market. As you all know, investors have been down a lot in the positions in the portfolios. Trading's been suspended a few times this week as the S&P has gone below its 7%, which means they have to halt the trading. Before I get into the context of how my portfolio's done this week, guys, if you could subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm on a goal to get 1,000 subscribers. If you could like this video and comment, I do love the engagement. Let me know what you think of the stock market as a whole in this past few weeks, especially this last week, and let me know how your own portfolios are doing, guys. I'm eager to see. But anyway, into the video, guys. You can see in the last 7 days, my portfolio this time last week was £3,600. You can see the slow decline. Once we got to Monday, that's when it really started to fall. Monday it fell and it stayed quite consistent. A bit of a rise again on Tuesday, but since then it's just been going down and down and down. And yesterday was really a big fall. And the lowest my portfolio got to was the 3,100 mark, which hasn't been for a good long time now. But today it's back up to £3,250 currently. I'm £463 down on my investment, which it could be worse. It's around about 12% on my whole. But yeah, so a few factors this week to why the stock market's been down, guys. Obviously, the coronavirus has been affecting the economy. A lot of countries have shut down, but pretty much America not allowing flights apart from to the UK, I think. So yeah, also it's all a chain reaction, guys. This can't even say it, coronavirus. I'm sick of saying the word now, to be honest, but it's causing a lot of disruption in the stock market. Also, on Monday, the oil and gas prices fell sharply. So if you look at Shell and Shell and BP, Shell down 31% in the last week. As you can see there, it's down to £12.37, which is, I think it's its year low by an absolute mile. And since 2014, I think this goes back to. If you wants to load up the free, there we go. Yeah, it's the lowest it's been for a good while. I think since the oil and gas leakage, I think from 2008. But yeah, Shell been really down. I'm down just under £100 on my investment. You can see my average cost is way above the actual price. So there's a thing. I think the key, guys, have some money saved up that you can invest in times like this. It really, really is key. Obviously, to when the stock market is crashing, you need to have some reserves to get money reserves to plough back into your positions you're the most down in. I haven't done that, and that is a mistake that I've made. But I did have a little bit of money which I ploughed in last week and got some shares of Shell, which was still high, £16.81. But yeah, same again with BP. BP are down. They're probably down the same, around about the similar amount. Yeah, another 30% BP are down. They are also, miles on the year low, and for the last 6 years, probably a year low again. So yeah, £3.01 for a BP share now, and the highest it's been over the last year is around the £5-6 mark. So you can see the drastic fall. I'm down 38.43% with BP. So yeah, guys, let's have a look at all the rest of the stocks now to see how they've done. I won't go into too much detail as they literally have all been down. AbbVie down 11.5% this week, but I'm still up 8.68% as a whole with AbbVie. If you still have got some shares that are in the green, it really is good. Next up is Verizon, who are down just under 10% in the last 7 days, and I'm down just under 10% now with Verizon as a whole. Next up we have AT&T. AT&T have been my best performing stocks over the last 6 months, but now, as you can see, over the last year, they've been on a high rise ever since I got them, around about the $30 mark. You can see the rise. They've had a few falls, but continually growing. Peaked around the £39 mark. I don't think they got $39 mark, and now they've back down, so they're only up 2% in the whole year now. But yeah, so I have 12 shares, and I'm up literally just 0.15% now. I was up around 20-30% at some point, but that's how cruel the market is at the moment, guys. Excuse me. Next is Coca-Cola, we're down 20%, one of my best performing stocks over the last 6 months. up only 1% now. Again, I was up 15 to 20% not so long ago. You can see again, Coke, I got in a good bull run. As you can see, that I think the bull run in the stock market is over now for the time being. So investors got to grin and bear it. So they've had a good increase up to just under $60 and now back down to 47, just like that. So I'm up 1.59% with Coke. Again, profit's been absolutely smashed to pieces. Next up is Colgate. Colgate are down 11.89% in the last week, and I'm down 12.55% overall with my investment with Colgate. Microsoft down just under 14%. I'm down 0.54%. Not nothing too extreme on Microsoft. Still 22% up for the year. They did peak to around $184, but now literally back down to $140. But they're still in the green, which is what you got to think of here, guys. The stock market it's had a massive fall, but the increase over the year is still great. So if you have a look at the S&P 500, for example, S&P 500 down 22% in the last month, and over the last year it's 5.53% down. So, but it's only a little bit further down from what it was this time last year. So hopefully the S&P 500 picks up very soon. Where was we? Back up to, there we go. Next up is Johnson & Johnson. Been hit hard, down 13.93%. Sorry, it's Microsoft again, sorry. There we go. 11.7% in the last 7 days. And I'm down just over 4.5% as a whole. Starbucks down 17.57% in the last 7 days, and I'm down 30% on my investment as a whole with Starbucks. Starbucks have had it's like an M shape there. They've had a good rise, a little fall, a good rise again, then a big fall with all this that's been going on. Next up is Ford. Ford have been absolutely crippled as well this last month, down 35% as a whole, but a further 17%, 18% this week. And I'm down £120 with Ford, just under 44%. See, Ford's one which has been struggling over the year in general. Even before the coronavirus, they've been steadily declining. This time last year, they was not at £10. They have been to $10. At one point in the year. Yes, I'm down 44% with Ford. Next up is Shell. Obviously, I went through Shell. The oil prices have really fell, but you can either up 10% today, which is a good sign. Yeah, I'm down just under £100. Again, we don't need to go into BP either. But Imperial Brands next up. I'm down 17.71%, and I'm down 22% on my whole investment with Imperial Brands, who again, overall in the year, they have been struggling. You can see they've been down. Even though they've had little rises, the falls have been greater. Pfizer next up, down 14.28% in the last 7 days. I'm down 16.5% with my investment as a whole with Pfizer. BP, already been through BP. PepsiCo next, down 15.97% in the last 7 days. And I'm down 16.7% in my investment as a whole. You can see, guys, I'm literally not up in pretty much all of my 25 stocks are all down. This has nothing to do with, it's just the economy as a whole. It's just absolutely crippled at the moment with all that's going on. Next up is Walmart, down 11.24% in the last 7 days. And I'm down just under 10% on my investment as a whole with Walmart. Not too bad, I suppose. Oriental Income, my investment trust, down 7% in the last 7 days. Let's see again today, up 6.5%. Nice little clawback. Hopefully that continues today. I'm down just under 14.5% on my investment as a whole for the 30 shares that I own. Next is BA Tobacco, who are down over 16% in the last 7 days. You can see a lot of the UK stocks have soared a little bit today, which is a good sign. I'm 5.56% down on my whole investment. Then next up we have is HSBC, who are down, who struggled, obviously had the problems even before the coronavirus, but are down 10% in the last week. And I'm down just under 18% on my investment. Next up is Lloyds. I always try to plough some shares into Lloyds when I can. Up 7% today, but in the whole of the last week, they're down just 19%, and I'm 30% down on my whole investment with Lloyds. Need to bring that dollar cost average down. And then it's the S&P 500 been over. The S&P 500 down 11% this week. Had a slight rise today of just over 3.92%, and I'm down 7.72% on my whole investment. Then it's Intel down 18.34% in the last week, and I'm down just 1% with Intel. It's not too bad. I only want one share though. But next is National Grid. National Grid has suffered 17.69% down in the last week. I'm still up in National Grid. It's one of the only ones. I think I'm up in 3 of my positions, which is not great, but is what it is at the moment. 11% profit with them so far. Next is Taylor Wimpey, who are down 21% in the last week. Been hit hard after quite a good year as well up until this point. They've had a few rises and falls, but overall they've really gone up this year. But now it's all that profit's been wiped off, and I'm down 10%. Then the final stock in my portfolio is Wells Fargo, who are down a massive 26.6%. I think one of my biggest fallers apart from the oil and gas companies. I own one share, and I'm down 40% for Wells Fargo again. Another company in the last year, they had quite a good rise overall, consistent, but then everything's just been wiped out again. I've also received a few dividends this week. And also just the one dividend, that was from Pfizer for 98p. You can see a few shares I bought of Lloyds as well over the last week. So yeah guys, if that's my portfolio, let me know what you think of it. But the big question is what you'll be asking guys, what you should be doing in this time. I say just keep investing as normal. Try not to panic and not let the media spread fear into you. Obviously it is bad at the moment, but I continually if you can, keep buying stocks of the positions you're most down in. Bringing that dollar cost average down. Reinvest your dividends, and all will come out on the other side, guys. Just don't panic. Keep a clear head. That's the thing. You've got to be an emotionless investor. Your money's not lost technically. It's gone. Just say it's gone down. We've got to go through the bad times as well as the good times as investors, guys. So just keep investing. Keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. So let me know what you think of the portfolio. Let me know how your portfolios are doing as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like this video and boost the YouTube algorithm. And also leave a comment as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for today.